My research proposal is an comparative study looking at the effectiveness of online learning versus face-to-face in a grade 12 international business class. So, introduction, I'm going to explain first why is this topic important. Now, there is a waiting list for the grade 12 e-learning international business course. With increasing globalization and global trade, there are increasing opportunities for students with a global perspective. Many students who wish to major in business in university tried to take the face-to-face course, but they were not able to because of timetabling conflicts and take the e-learning course instead. However, by the end of the course, many of the students that enrolled for the e-learning course drop out. Are guidance counselors enrolling the right type of student into the program? How does the effectiveness of the online course compare to the face-to-face course? If e-learning is effective, it would be an excellent option for First Nation communities, which are often small, isolated, and lack specialists. Only 8% of FNMI people aged 25 to 64 who hold university degrees compared to 23% on non-FNMI in the same age group who do. The benefits to FNMI students include providing high school options not normally available, allowing them to remain in the community for schooling, and increasing the potential to complete high school with the required courses to pursue post-secondary studies. What has been done, and we're also going to look at gap identification in the literature review. A literature review of studies of college courses demonstrated that learning decreases when there is no face-to-face instruction. Students in blended classrooms where they spend time with instructor and also online performed about the same as fully face-to-face courses. What do studies show for younger students? A study of Chicago high school students who had already failed a face-to-face algebra course and were enrolled in a summer credit recovery course. They were randomly assigned to a face-to-face or online format. The online students were significantly less likely to pass the course and needed a classroom with a teacher's support. The study suggests that until weak academic students can demonstrate the self-motivation, self-regulation, and organization skills needed to be successful in an online course, they should uh, be not be allowed to enroll in these courses. Now, the research question is, how does student engagement compare for students taking online and face-to-face grade 12 international business courses? This, uh, this involves understanding basically student engagement. So how do we measure levels of student engagement? We can look at the number of raised hands, participation in discussions, students on task. So what is student engagement? Student engagement in D2L measures the level of participation in question-driven discussion using D2L. It's the ability to collaborate with not only other students but also the teacher, co-creating materials. And it's the level of academic challenge for students and use of higher order thinking. So how are we going to measure um, student engagement? We're going to use Google Forms, asking both open-ended questions. For example, how was your experience using D2L in this course? Explain. close-ended questions. On a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate the level of challenge in the course? The research method. Now, the research question I just explained for earlier slide. What kind of data collection instruments? Like I mentioned, it would be a survey. And so we're talking about qualitative methods. What is the data analysis method? We're going to use the Likert scale and also content analysis. The participants, so one online grade 12 international business class and one face-to-face class, 30 students in each class, total of 60 students. The other research question that I would look at is compared with retaking grade 12 international business as a face-to-face course, what is the impact of taking the course online on students' scores at the end of course assessment and grades in the course? So data collection instruments, we have quantitative, so summative tests and assignments and grades. And the data analysis method would be the t-test. Participants would be the same. So what are the implications? What are pedagogical and professional practice and future research? The goal for my qualitative study is to provide the basis that can lead to new studies, especially for marginalized students. More research studies need to be conducted on the online learning needs of the FNMI student population. These schools lack specialized traditional courses for students working ahead of their grades. The other implication is that advances in artificial intelligence will increase the effectiveness of online courses as the course content and pace adapts to the needs of each individual learner. There is a need to conduct more research in the field of personalized learning and its effect on online learning. Another area that needs more study is the effectiveness of synchronous online versus asynchronous online learning. YRDSB's e-learning night program is moving towards more synchronized online instruction, while the day program remains almost strictly asynchronous. An important study would be to compare the effectiveness of the two approaches and its effect on student learning. So the references, here's a list of the references. And I'm ready to take your questions.